In Section 11, Lunch at Lady Bruton's, of Mrs. Dalloway, a shop clock on Oxford Street announces it is 1:30 p.m. Hugh Whitbread goes into the shop to buy socks and shoes. Hugh, an efficient man, has a low-level job in the government and many hobbies. He keeps his friends close, and he has been behind a few civic reforms that he's proud of, like improving public shelters and saving owls. Lady Bruton welcomes Richard Dalloway and Hugh. They eat a fancy meal. Lady Bruton, age 62, is a shrewd businesswoman and diplomat more interested in politics than in people. She asks Richard about Clarissa, quietly acknowledging the bond between the two women, who dislike each other yet feel a kinship as wives in a masculine world. The three discuss Peter Walsh, recalling silently that Peter loved Clarissa once, and they assume that Peter is back because of trouble with a woman. Lady Bruton asks Hugh to help her write a letter to the Times, the popular newspaper, with Richard's advice. Her career involves assisting young people with emigration to Canada, and she believes her efforts have been futile lately, despite her professional success. Richard and Hugh argue over the tone of the letter, which discusses England's increasing population of young people and what the country owes to its veterans and dead, and how it should be written to push Lady Bruton's agenda of emigration. Richard reminds Lady Bruton about the Dalloway's party. He mentions that he'd like to write a history of her family. After her guests have left, Lady Bruton goes upstairs to rest. Hugh Whitbread is one of the novel's symbols of authority and proportion. He has no doubts about life and no worries or private tortures Woolf often clues the reader into, except for his wife's poor health. Like Bradshaw, Hugh is proud of his accomplishments and considers himself a great helper to the poor, though he may be the exact opposite. Lady Bruton, who comes from a noble English family and doesn't read poetry, may be more pomp than substance, and while she may prefer down-to-earth Richard's company, she's more similar to Hugh. She also attempts to keep her life in proportion. Her elaborate luncheons, like many other trappings of upper-class life, are a mystery or grand deception. She has clear political ambitions and a savvy intellect. Men, Lady Bruton believes, understand the laws of the universe better than women do. She believes her womanhood is a burden rather than an asset. And as the men write the letter supporting emigration, Richard and Hugh keep in mind the tension surrounding young veterans' needs and the effects of the war. Richard proposes risky honesty. Hugh would rather defer to people's delicate feelings. But Lady Bruton indulges in memories of her own, overwhelmingly happy ones. She feels grateful for her friends, even as she senses they're pulling away. Like other aging characters, Lady Bruton is heading for solitude.